phones, baby.
They're live.
Yeah, we are. All right, so I got some chat over here. I want to hear you. Give me a mic check, baby.
Mic check.
Yeah, you sound good. All right, we're gonna let the YouTube begin. So I don't know. It should be on. It says on, right? All right. Now we're streaming. Now we're recording. Looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and just. Oh my God, baby! You know when you get done with your workout, and then it's like you're starving to death immediately.
You feel that way?
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like that post-workout starved to death right now.
Yeah, I get it.
I ain't gonna make it. Wait for anybody to jump on here. We're gonna record. They're like, how do you get your beard like that? I'm like, with this straightener right here. It's not natural, that's for sure. It's kind of like, how do you get your lips so red, baby? It's like I use this lipstick. It's not natural.
It's natural.
It's all natural.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just wrestling chords at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I feel like your beard is the makeup for women.
I think you're not wrong.
It covers half your face.
Yeah, it covers all my blemishes.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about beards? Here's a fun fact for beards. What makes beards so cool is guys can actually change the shape of their face.
100%.
Like if a guy
100%.
if he doesn't have like a pronounced like chin, he can give himself like a big square beard and like have a pronounced jawline now. Like
It's true.
it's pretty badass.
Completely.
What's up, Phil?
Hey, Philip.
Appreciate your sensu bean, bro.
Hi, Jenna and Ruth.
Yeah.
We're not live on TikTok yet. It's just you guys right now.
Yeah, we're just YouTube only at the moment while I fix the beard.
Yeah.
Behind
We're like
some-
rushing tonight. I got home from just literally walked in the door. You just got on working out.
Yeah.
It's a busy day.
Yeah, we make it happen though.
Yeah.
Let me get some protein so I don't get cranky on the live.
Yeah, we don't want you to be cranky. Hey, Stephanie. This was quiet just to make it awkward.
Oh yeah. Protein.
I was like, don't crush it. Yeah, you crushed it.
I am full of protein and ready for going live. So silly.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's go pull some people out of hell. All right. Can you guys hear us okay? How's this sound? What's up, Dan?
Hi, Dan.
Sparta! Dan gets
When
it.
he's cranky, it's never boring. You're right.
Yeah, I got to keep my cranky low. You guys,
Keep the cranky at a minimum.
Phil, you've been around long enough that like you can see when we're going live, and I'm like, whatever, dude, do whatever the fuck you want. Let's call it. I'm good.
And I'm like, oh.
Date night.
You sign off quick. It's
Yeah.
like, it's the same thing when I get off the phone. I'm like, okay, bye.
You do when you get off your work phone. You're like, okay,
Okay, bye.
okay, okay, thanks. Don't finish your sentence. Bye.
Talk to you later, bye.
I was Steph. I was giving you some praise today. I was talking with Andrea about
Yeah.
how you had to,
Proud
that,
of you.
check myself moment. So good job.
Yeah, that's a really good moment. So good job, Stephanie.
What's up, Luis? Is it Lewis?
Hello,
Can't see from
Luis
here.
Rios.
Rios. There's Danielle. What's up, Danny?
Hi, Danny. Thank you. I'm getting my hair done on Monday, actually. My roots are growing out. My hair is naturally, it's funny, when we met, he had all dark hair, and I also had, my hair is naturally like that color. Clearly, you could see. Not trying to hide it. But the other day, I've been doing my hair for so long, light. So when was this last? It was this week, I think. My hair was like, as it's growing out, I rarely like get it cut because I'm trying to let it grow. But I got so frustrated the other day, I literally took my hair in the kitchen with a pair of kitchen scissors. Sure did. And I took it and I was like, boop, boop. And then I called my daughter upstairs, the one that's good at hair. And I'm like, what do you think? And she's like, did you look at the back of it? I was like, of course not. She's like, oh my God, your hair.
The daughter.
So I appreciate the compliment.
The daughter's like,
I did it
SMH.
myself. I could do makeup. I cannot. This is about it for my hair. Usually this or in a ponytail. That's it. That's all I got.
SMH.
Yeah. So,
All right, baby. You ready to go live on
anyways,
this other
yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
It looks like it's not in the way. This is kind of good. I got a little more center. Let's try this. Keep it out of the way there so we can kind of see
I
both.
just realized we got a Christmas stocking over there.
Hell yeah, we do. It's for Santa.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, cool. So now we can see both. I can see that.
Yeah.
Winning, right?
Yeah,
All right.
winning.
Are you in this, baby?
Yeah, right here.
I just want to make sure. Well, yes. I mean, you're here. I just want to make sure you're here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right, my YouTubers. All right, Warriors. You guys ready? We're going to hit the TikTok and then feel free, obviously, interact. Jenna, I actually have the chat up now, so that's we can see you, which is, leveling up. So that's a good thing.
You guys are sweet. Thank you.
Thank you guys for being awesome.
Yeah.
All right, baby. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's
ready.
do this. Hit buttons. Hit buttons. Do things. Oh, how's my makeup?
It looks good.
All right, there we go.
The joke is always like him having so many girls. That's where the gray hair come. He had no gray hair when I met him at all.
These daughters helped out quite a bit. They're high
Became
contributors.
fast.
They're high contributors to the gray hair. Our girls are serious.
Oh,
They take their job very
For
seriously.
real.
All right. Can you hear? How do I sound on this one for you guys? Does this sound okay?
Ruth, I think, said earlier.
Do I sound
someone
quiet?
said-
Let's see. Hear and see clearly. All right, because in my headset it sounds good. I just want to make sure it sounds good for you guys. All right, there we go. Our TikTokers are jumping on. That's good. Let's turn our brightness up. All right, let's do the thing, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do the thing. So if you guys want to throw out some topics and stuff for any of the people jumping on right now, welcome to Warrior Wednesday. We are here to serve. So you guys are catching on to some of the stuff that happens on our, okay. You guys are catching on what's going on with our, like the podcast. People are doing a lot of feedback for the podcast, which is very cool. There's some really good episodes. We just did one on, psychedelics with a guy who has done ayahuasca journeys with people, and
Pretty cool.
he does a lot of information on that stuff. Like people don't know about MDMA, psilocybin, ayahuasca, like these things, and so he is giving a lot of clarity and clearing up some misconceptions. And so it's a very cool podcast. Check out that episode. It's with James, and that was a very cool one. So check it out. It's just a good one. It's very informative, and so it tries to clear up some of the stigmas.
Yeah,
But
it's good.
good conversation too, because I got some feedback. They're like, you guys really get into some deep shit too. So we get into some good stuff. So check that out, be a part of that. But then also, we've been looking out. We've had a lot of guys jumping into the Warriors Way. That group is growing very, very solidly. The community is getting stronger. And so we're going to keep just getting better for our guys and serving more guys, which leads us to today. If any of you like our old Hey Babe videos where she'll just come in and ask a question, now is your chance to do your own Hey Babe moment, which is, let me ask you a question. What do you think about this?
Yeah.
It's also kind of cool because people will think like how highly rehearsed things are until they actually hang out with us and go like, no, they really talk like that.
Yeah, it's very true.
That's really how they are.
And in fact, because, I like to naturally play jokes and things like that. I do find it very entertaining to really catch him off guard. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. Because you always have something to say, but it is kind of fun when I could just jump in and come through the door and ask you questions. Initially, when we posted our first video, here's a funny story. When I almost did not post it on TikTok. We shared offices together in the next room, and we were always these back and forth conversations. And one day I was like, I'm just going to ask you a question, and I just started recording. And the video sat in my phone for probably 3-4 days, maybe. And I was like, one day I was like, well, what the hell? I'm just going to post it. And it was my TikTok account, and I just posted it. And I was like, oh, this video, a lot of people are liking this video. And it literally took off. From there, we did another one, and that one went viral. I was like, what the heck is going on? This is crazy. I had a solid 400 people for probably a year. I didn't do anything on it. But so then I had to go in and clear out the whole TikTok account of, the stuff I had posted, stuff with the kids, and then this account was born. So, yeah.
No, what's funny is that when she started putting the videos up of me answering the questions for like the first one was like, what are the 3 main needs for a man? And I was like, oh, I got you. Hungry, horny, appreciation. I got you.
Yeah.
And that video blew up. And then the love languages one, that one blew up. And it was really funny because she was like, what the hell, dude? Like, I didn't even have TikTok at all.
No.
I didn't even have a TikTok account. And it's so funny that we went viral on TikTok. I didn't even have an account.
Yeah.
I didn't even care. I was like, I might have been on that.
Yeah.
And so it was ironic that it blew up so quickly on something that I wasn't even a part of. We just say God was working in our favor on this one because I was just doing word of mouth, underground, if you will. Like I was just
Yeah.
working through referrals and I'd run groups, through people like going, oh man, this guy's pretty good. That's all I had. And then it went viral and we've been blowing up ever since. We worked with, so there's got to be, I'd say hundreds and hundreds, but we got to be pushing into the thousands because we have so many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's got to be there's a lot of people that we've helped. Thank you guys. Thanks for the badge, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So we're just here to serve now. And so in which case, this is an opportunity for you guys to just ask some questions, And so if you guys on YouTube, we can see you guys. You guys on TikTok, we can see you guys. Throw some back and forth. Ask your own questions. And once we get rolling and people start dropping questions in, we get going pretty quickly. And then baby, she tries to do very good at being able to catch everybody's stuff. Your notebook's right here. Do you want me to grab that for you, babe?
No, I got it.
Okay. But we'll make sure that we get to as many of you guys as we can. Our goal is to serve our warriors, make sure you guys have what you guys need for the week. And then we got our date night. And I got a couple ideas for us to do something after this. I got some ideas.
Nice.
So we'll see how you feel, though, because, like, to be fair, there's some nights we just want to just snuggle.
Yeah, we've been tired lately.
Well, not even tired. If you
I have been.
just throwing it out there. Like, here's a date night thing. I'm just gonna throw out a romantic thing for you guys. So, a lot of times people think date night means you have to go do something, but what is the purpose for date night?
Mm-hmm.
Well, think about it. What's the reason you're going on a date? Why ask questions?
Yeah.
Why be like, you know what? Well, what did you like? Or what was the best part of your day? Or what's your favorite movie? Like, why ask those questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because I want to know you better and connect with you more.
Yeah.
Well, if the goal is connection, well, just laying and snuggling together, asking the same questions
It's pretty great.
better than having to go do a thing that distracts us.
Yeah.
And so some days we're like, let's just stay in. We'll eat something quickly and then just go and lay down with each other and let's just talk. I put music on very often to like that has no. I don't like music with words.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knows, I listen to a lot of sound without words because I don't like other thoughts coming in from like people trying to tell me like what to think at the moment. I like to work through this, and so I just put on background noise or ambient noise, and just want to hear her. This is the soundtrack that I want to hear the most, and so that's what I'll do. I'll put on background music, and then I want to hear her.
Mm-hmm.
You're my favorite artist.
Aww. Yeah, we do enjoy hanging out with each other. It's very easy to get into, the typical date nights of like going out to dinner and stuff like that. And we're really good about like when it's date night, like we're pretty good about our phones anyway, like not letting it distract us. I've gotten a lot better, especially with work. But when it's date night, our phones are not around. Like they're just not. We don't let that get in the middle of our date night because again, we're trying to connect, and the phones are just a distraction. So.
Yeah, it's a good call too. That's actually one of the love language ones that gets confusing is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Like people get confused with quality time because it's different for everybody. What's up, Joe Harmon? It's different for everybody, and this is important for you guys as a couple to have the conversation. Is what's quality time mean? Because I've seen people who are okay with being in the same room and not interacting, and that still counts. Mm-hmm. Like where if she's going through her social media and I'm playing a video game, or if I'm reading a book and she's watching YouTube. Like some people are totally cool with that. They're like, you're in the same room. That's totally fine. That's good. Some people require uninterrupted quality time. Like we don't do the phones. I don't play a game. And like, it's you and me and I want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Decide what that means for you two. Don't make assumptions. Oh my God, the assumptions are killers.
Yeah.
Don't make an assumption that what you like is what they like. Make agreements on how do we do that.
Yeah.
Let's see, Danny, you said, why does romance seem the same for men and women?
Why
Why
doesn't?
doesn't romance seem the same for men and women? It's a really good question. And I would probably go off of like, I'd want to hear like more information. Danny, you know, I like going back and forth with you. Well, what do you think romance means? And then I can answer for the guy side.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the? I'm actually actually with the amount of social media pressure on women today. I'm actually more interested in what women today believe romance is, because I'm probably, if I had to guess, just by the regular interactions, romance is somehow you buying me something or taking me somewhere or doing
Mm-hmm.
something for me.
Yeah.
And that's where I would probably wonder, what do women actually call romance?
Yeah.
Because when guys are taking a woman on a date, I wonder how much she's like, I'm
It,
very interested in your heart
yeah.
versus, well, what can you provide for me?
Yeah. For me, I believe what I think, at least for us, is that it's more of an unexpected things that happen. I find like our date nights are romantic. I do, but the other day I was in the kitchen. I was playing music, like listening to very old music, like in the 20s and 30s. I like to listen to that music
You do
sometimes.
like that. Sometimes you get mad at some of them, though, because they
Yeah.
can be a little rough.
Yeah, they're a little rough. But he came in the kitchen and just grabbed me and like started dancing with me, and I was like, my life is fulfilled. Like I'm very simple when it comes to that. Like it's something unexpected, but in that moment I was like, this is wonderful. And I find it to be very romantic. The other thing that I find to be very romantic, and maybe this is not the right thing to see it this way, maybe connection is more the word, not romantic. Connected is when we meditate together.
Yeah.
When we meditate together,
We sit back to back and hold
Yep.
hands while we meditate.
yes. And
It's. I mean, maybe it sounds a little hippie, but it's really good. What's up, Brandon?
but it makes a difference as far as us being connected. Our schedules are both so busy, and so when we take the time in the morning to meditate together in that way, it's so powerful. And I know I've said this a million times, but for him to be the spiritual, not only the leader in this house, but the spiritual leader. And there is something incredible about a man, your spouse, praying over you. I've never had it in my life. I know I've said this before. When he does that, I cry every time, first of all. Surprise there. I know, shocking. But I feel my heart literally is so full in that moment that I'm like, there's nothing else I need in life. Like, my kids are good, but having him pray over me is one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life. So
Yeah, it's
I
good.
love that.
It's good moments, and like it makes me happy to like I'll hold her close, like I'll hold her, I'll get behind because like we have her back to back, and so I'll get up over her and I'll hold her close, and then I'll pray over her, and it's as much safety security as I can try to make sure is all accounted for while we do that, but yeah, it makes it so she's also spiritually and emotionally safe too,
Yeah.
and not just the physical element. But then also like we have those conversations where we can have conversations, and it doesn't have to lead to like a blowout if it's a disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
And so having those moments, like we've had good talks. It just like you said, like I see Druid talking here, where like we'll just have morning coffee together, and there's days we don't agree on stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Listen, don't get it mixed up that like we're just like we always agree. We are both A type. Like we both
And
disagree.
whatever you
sometimes.
say goes. No, sometimes it doesn't with me. Sometimes I disagree, and I disagree strongly. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. I'll be honest with you, if I'm being very honest, and I shouldn't even be saying with him in the room. Just it's our secret. Act like you didn't hear this.
I'll pretend.
But most of the time, it's when I'm feeling a little bit emotional. Usually, I'm tired. If there's something that doesn't make sense, it's usually because I'm adding so much emotion to it, and I can't see clearly. Because usually in the day, I find myself thinking about it. I'm like, damn it, that does make sense. Logically, it makes sense. I get that. I get where he was coming from. But sometimes I'm a woman, and I need to. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense in the moment.
Sometimes you just need to add some shit I didn't say.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, did he say that? Shit, did I add words for him? Dang it.
You really do.
Yeah.
And
So
then
anyway.
and then what's funny is the things that I say she'll use against me later, because I'll be like, babe, listen to the exact words I'm saying. I'm not all the stuff you're adding is not what I said. This is my sentence on purpose. Write it down. That way you don't add anything to it. And then later she'll be like, listen to the exact words that I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not adding stuff for you.
It's a good playful way, So, we both try not to take ourselves too seriously, but we have very deep conversations, but we're also very, very playful too. Okay. Druid says romance is sharing a moment you are both present for and mutual connection. He also said, I talk about romance as love for how someone changes, not what they change into or from.
Talk about romance as a love for how someone changes, but not what they change into or from. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Not what they change into or from, ... but the change itself. So it's almost like the beauty and evolving together and growing together. Is that kind of what I'm getting at? Yeah, we are definitely in a constant state of change, but being able to find acceptance, not get caught up in unhealthy beliefs, forgiveness and grace for each other's choices. That's a big one where people go like, oh, you did a choice I don't like. Now that makes me an authority over you. And then they punish or hurt. And it's like, hold on a second. Like, we're all allowed to be humans here.
Absolutely.
Warrior Queen, glad to see you on here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the To Be Better podcast. I got to do a couple episodes with them. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's good. Fun.
Chris and Peaches.
It says fun like I wasn't there, but it looked like fun. It was, yeah. I mean, we follow them. I watch their stuff. They're pretty great. Yeah. Dan said, what is the best way to work on communication with a newly blended family? I have a bitter baby mama, 4 children, married for 14 years, divorced, almost 2, and a girlfriend with a child.
What's the best way to work on communication with a newly blended family? Being a step parent, first off, is really hard. So like your girl taking on your kids and then you taking on her child, like the step parent dynamic is just, it's an honor to like every single step parent out there, male or female. It is a volunteer gig to take other people's families on, taking other people's children on. And if you do not appreciate the male or female that has taken that role and you create some sort of toxic belief system around, well, you signed up for it. Like if you have any toxic mentality around the pure blessing that you have to have a step parent in your life, like people don't get, that's a volunteer gig. It's a volunteer job. I choose you, but I also choose the kids.
Yeah.
I'm a step parent. We got three girls in here. I didn't make any of them, but I'm raising all of them. And that's a volunteer gig. So for your girl, Dan, just first thing, honor her heavily. And for the communication side, listen. I didn't say agree. I said listen. When I'm watching couples, the biggest problem is people don't listen. They wait to talk or they need to control. And when you start seeing control systems come in, that's where people start getting into their fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and they start trying to take control of the conversation. Appreciate the people in your life.
Yeah.
It's a volunteer gig. They don't owe you anything. They don't have to do that. They chose to. So listen to each other. Now, it's important that you understand that I'm saying you don't have to agree with each other. This just because you disagree doesn't mean it's a green light to attack. Like just because you love somebody isn't a green light to just go, well, I'm going to fucking go in on you. Like, whoa, unnecessary. It's okay to disagree. Like, well, let's talk it out. I want to hear where you're coming from. Well, I think we should do this. Noted. Yeah. I believe we should do this. And if somebody goes, well, I think you're bad, or I think you're an idiot, or you don't know what to do, it's not your kids. As soon as somebody starts nagging or complaining or attacking or controlling, it's you. It's you.
Yeah.
It's no longer a conversation. It turns into a combat.
Yeah.
You stop listening. When people wait to talk and they don't listen to understand, expect it to be a massive problem. Whenever I'm watching people who say, like, how do I work on my communication skill? I would literally probably say at least 8 out of 10, people aren't listening. Just waiting to talk. I need to control the conversation.
Yeah.
Remove that element and just listen with right to disagree. I don't agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's okay to not agree. That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
You both grew up in different places. You both have been through different things. They have different experiences from you. For you guys to agree on everything would be insanity. There's no way that would work.
Right.
It's like we have different upbringings, different everything.
Yeah.
So listen and then see if you guys can find an agreement. That's the whole play.
Yeah.
And so this is where I think people get goofed up the most is they just stop listening. They just want to tell everybody how they should be. Watch for the should. You should do that. You should do this. Why aren't you doing what I think you should do? And it just starts eroding relationships. It kills it. Starts killing it. So, Dan, I don't know if that helps you, but the thing that really helps us out a lot is being able to just write down what they're saying and listen. It's a bananas practice to do this. Like, I'm going to listen to what you say. I'm just going to write it all out, what you're saying, as accurately as I can.
Yeah.
And then repeat back. Is this what you meant? And then this is the hard part for our guys, just so you know. When my baby, I love you. When my baby shares her thing, thank you for the crown, thank you. When my baby shares and I write out her thing, she'll usually stack a few things because they're all connected to one feeling. And then when I start reading back her thing, like, you said this, there's a high majority of times she's like, yeah, but what I meant was, and then I have to cross out what she said and then write down what she meant, which is not usually the same thing. This isn't because she's trying to dupe me or screw me over or whatever. It's just she's processing out loud. So don't hold them over the fire for their initial thing they say. If they say I meant something different, just go ahead and cross out the first thing they said.
And when you're crossing it off, don't be frustrated and like, I need a black marker for this. Like,
Give me a red marker.
do it with grace. You're gonna need grace for this whole thing. Just have grace. Especially if you guys are just starting on doing it. It can be easily used as a weapon. Don't use it as a weapon. Use it as a good tool, a teammate tool. I'm really on this teammate thing lately. It's really keeps showing up. Yeah.
No, it's good. It's a good mindset. No, you're right. So hopefully that's at least a cool exercise. Now, just to make it so you guys don't screw this up, you remember it's not your turn until you can at least repeat back what they said and they can go, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna give you another low pitch here. I'm gonna help you guys out. Don't go through all of the stack. You'll never get a turn. Hear me on this one? Like I'm waiting for the... Just listen, guys. If you try and go through the whole stack that she just gave you, you'll never get a turn. Anybody who's ever tried this, am I preaching to the choir? Like, I know I got to pick one or two things that's important, and then we'll work on that. But then she gives me another stack after that, and then I'll have 2 full stacks. Then I'll go in and grab one thing. I'm like, is this one right? And she'll go, no, what I meant was, and I cross that one out, and then I get another stack. Just try and get the 1 or 2 things that are important, and then go, okay, are you ready? And then once she's good, then you go. Like, we've had to do this enough times where it, like, the exercise itself turned into an argument.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said don't use it as, because he can get frustrated and be like, and now he's I'm like, I'm
never going to get a turn.
oh my
with
God.
This.
He absolutely gets a turn. You think this guy doesn't get a turn? He absolutely gets a turn. I like to play blocks, and so I do this so I see like how high can he go, stacking blocks and stuff. It's pretty high.
She's trying to get Tetrises over here. I'm like, what are you doing? Listen, can we get through one of these things?
But sometimes, and it could be the situation where like I'm not ready for you to write. Like, let me get this out and then process it, and then let's go from there. Because especially if it's not really a thought out thing, yeah, of course it's gonna go all over the place. If you're not 100% sure, you're sticking to exactly what you want to share. So,
Danny, you said, do you have a live example of a stack?
That's a good question.
Do you want to take that one, or because I mean, like, I know my interpretation of what it feels like to be on the receiving end of a stack. And so just so you guys know why do our ladies stack is because women think in a web pattern, everything's connected, and it's usually connected to a feeling. And so let's just use one feeling like frustration. I'm frustrated. Well, anything that connected to frustration is one topic. True or not true?
Mm-hmm.
Feels right?
Yeah.
Like anything that's connected to that one frustration or upset or concerned, whatever the word is, it ends up becoming anything that's frustrating. So let's go into frustration. And so she'll be like, I'm just frustrated that you aren't listening to me. And I'm writing down, you don't think I listen because I'm listening. And then she's like, also I'm frustrated because the dogs keep getting in the garbage. And then my mom keeps showing up at random and I'm really this thing. And then we have the girls have so many sports going on. And then also like I've got work going on and this work thing is happening. And I'm like, okay, so the girls and then the work and then mom shows up sometimes and the dogs do shit. I'm like, okay. And I'm writing down all these things. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, all of these are not the same thing. Like the dogs, your mom, work, like me not listening, like all of these things are not, these are all different categories to me, but they're all connected to frustration for her. And so I'm like, so, I mean, do you want me to train the dogs or like have your mom call ahead or do you want me to take some stress off so you can get your work done? Like these are all different categories to me. What do we need? And so that's an idea of what a stack looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Those aren't usually like, I think that's a good.
Well, I just connected everything to frustration.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good,
like
a good
what
example.
is frustrating?
Yeah.
So it gets really tricky for that one. It's hard. Let's see. Drew, you said Rick is writing down each other's feelings. The best when it, let's see, each other's feelings.
Question. Yeah.
The best when it feels like conflict is starting. It's a good idea to use this exercise. Yeah, when you feel it coming on, or if it goes crazy and you have to get the notebooks. Like, ooh, this is going off the rails. Babe, let's take a break. I'm going to get a notebook. I want to listen to what you have to say. It's very important, too, that you guys understand what's happening, because otherwise people's defenses will get kicked down if they don't understand what you're doing. Also, if you use your phone to take notes, let them know you're doing that, because it looks like you're texting. If you don't let them know you're taking notes.
Yeah.
And they'll think you're not listening when you're listening to every word that they say. So just be aware that it's a tool that you both agree to be used and not something I'm using to use against you. It's not what it is. So it's just those things I've seen people goof that up to.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up, Canadian Bacon? Ooh, Ernest. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you see, baby? Let's see. Oh, yeah, thank you. And Fake Rick.
What was that one? I didn't.
Fake Rick.
I know who that is.
Fake Rick is whenever Phil goes ahead and pokes the bear and talks about Snapchat or cheating or anything, and then you get all turned up about like if Rick ever did this. I'm like, uh-oh, Fake Rick's about to get killed.
Yeah, you're about to know what my hard boundaries are very quickly.
R.I.P. Frick.
Like I turned it from being like super cool to like, don't mess with me, don't do it.
And I'm with you. I'm like, yeah, Fake Rick needs to go.
Yeah, and I'm like, you right. Yeah, Phil has gotten me a couple of times.
Phil gets you turned up.
He really does.
He'll be like, we're going to start a Snapchat OnlyFans for the Warriors Way. And you'll be like, oh, no, you're not.
No.
And I'm like, babe, really? You think that...
Like, that's such a dumb idea.
He's like, we're going to do feet pics for the Warriors Way.
No,
and you're
you're
like,
not.
no, you're not. No, you won't. You better not. And I'm like, what are you...
So nonsense.
Nobody wants to... How are you falling
dumb.
for this?
I don't know. Sometimes Phil gets me, though. Phil gets me. He does get me. And we hang out with Phil in person. And he gets me.
He gets you sometimes. He'll poke you, and then you'll fall
I'm like,
for
you know
it.
that because when it comes to like loyalty and like standing by this guy, like 100%. Like I don't freaking waver. And so like don't bring that shit into my dynamic, fake or not. Like I don't like it. I don't. Mess with me.
That's so funny, baby.
Yeah,
Ah,
thanks a lot, Canadian Bacon.
Yeah,
No,
way
kidding.
to go. Way to go, man.
Oh my god.
Canadian bacon's delicious, by the way. All right. What's up, George Martinez? We see you. Very cool. Yeah. But yeah, Dan, go ahead and see what it feels like. Just try to listen to each other. Really do that. And listen to understand, not wait to talk. It's pretty an interesting exercise. If I listen without needing to do anything, I just want to understand, then make agreements. It's important to say, because I heard you doesn't mean you called the shot. Do I need to say that again
Yeah.
for the people in the back? Just because I heard you doesn't mean that's like a law now. That doesn't mean there's an agreement. Because you said something doesn't mean that we have an agreement. Like, I just wish you would take the garbage out when I want you to. Like, okay, take out the garbage when you want me to. All right, anything else? Nope, that's it. So make sure you do that from now on and go, oh, we didn't make an agreement. I just understood what you said. Just because you said something doesn't mean it's a new law.
Right. We didn't agree to anything.
There's not an agreement.
You just shared.
I just
Yeah.
heard what you said.
Yeah.
So don't put that in the books.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's one of those things where, like, just because you said something, don't go like, now you're accountable. Don't do that. That's not teamwork. You're not the boss. Very important, too, that nobody's the boss.
Yeah.
I see
exactly.
people mess that up. They want to try and tell people what they should do, or like they got power over. Like, you need to start doing what I tell you to. You do not own each other. It's a teamwork, not ownership.
Team, that's right.
Like, I'm not your boss. I just take on the crap leadership role that other people don't want to take on the responsibility for. So I do the protection, and we have a good deal for the provision. We both make money, so we both take care of the place and the kids.
Yeah.
But when it comes to protection or it comes to presiding, I take lead.
Yep.
But that means if it goes wrong, it's on me. It's not a glorious job. It's a heavy-weighted, like, not fulfilling, because it's very fulfilling, but ungratified often. Like, it's a servant job where it's very rarely, like, we make the jokes that I do the things that are meant to be unseen. Like, oh, the door opens and closes, or the water's not leaking on your head by the doorway. I put that thing up to make it so that it doesn't leak on your head anymore. Or, oh, the brakes on your car are not working. You can't see the brakes on your car, but you sure feel them.
Yeah.
You know, or like, hey, this light is working, or, you know, whatever. Like, all the things, I do the things that are not seen. You are safe because I am here. Well, nobody's hurting me because I'm here. Like, they show up when I'm not around. Did you notice?
Yeah.
You know, and we've had those moments too where people have come and tried to do harm, and then when I get involved, it makes it better. I do the things that you're not supposed to see, but everything is better when it's there. I fix the toilets. Nobody's checking to see how that works. But it sure is nice when you can flush your toilet.
Yeah.
Like,
It's true. And showing appreciation for those things that you do that are unseen, you know, because sometimes we wouldn't know about it unless you told us. We'd be like, oh, you did that. Thank you so much. It's like showing appreciation for the things that are done.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're good about showing appreciation for the things that I do too, which are more things that are seen, not everything. You know, for those of you guys that are parents, like parents, it's a very like selfless job. You know, give. That's what you do as parents. And, you know, that's how it is. But
user 9849, all the numbers. He says, can you talk about not feeling appreciated? I don't think it's a weakness to feel appreciated. We can both go in on this one pretty hard, because for guys, it's hungry, horny appreciation. But appreciation is by far the biggest one. Like, we'll do a lot for appreciation. Hungry, horny is easy. We can solve that one quickly. But appreciation is where the ball gets dropped the most. The respect, the honor, the encouragement. I appreciate my person. This is where it goes off the rails the most.
Yeah, absolutely. And if my advice to the ladies would be show appreciation for the small things. And if you find yourself saying, well, he just should be doing that anyway, like that is his job. Like, if you have a husband that is going to work, or a partner that's going to work every day, thank him for that. Because in many cases, you wouldn't have what you have without your partner helping, and vice versa. If you work just as hard, you both work in an office, whatever it is, the appreciation can go both ways. But really, as women, we should be appreciating. Men need it more. You know, they require it more. There's 3 things, like he was saying, like showing appreciation for the small things, to let your guy know, like, hey, I see you. I see you putting in the work. I appreciate you so much for this. Is so important. You know, I I would used to get kind of frustrated, like not with him, but kind of had the mindset, well, like, shouldn't have to ask. He should just know, right? Like, it was very easy for me to go into that. I wouldn't say it out loud. I would just keep it to myself.
Yeah, like
but
did you lose your mind?
Not to, that's what I said. I had to say not to you because I wouldn't say that to you. I wouldn't. But it really is, showing appreciation for the small things. And if you don't, they can be taken away, and it'll quickly make you realize how much you should be appreciating things that you wish are there that are no longer there. So, and it's such a simple thing to do. Appreciation is so simple.
How long does it take?
Literally just a couple seconds.
What's it cost you?
Not a thing. Not a thing.
What a simple request. I
Yeah.
will do anything for you that you need. Just take a couple seconds out of the way. Ooh,
Oh,
see you, Ernest. Take a couple seconds out of your day
yeah.
and be cool to your person.
And it doesn't.
I see a couple of things. Can you see that? Can you see what they're saying, baby?
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of things like, I don't feel appreciated. How do I bring up that conversation? Like, Kimberly, you got a unique one there. But these ones in here, I see skeet. Is it selfish for your part to ask your partner for love? If they forget sometimes, I feel like you need it. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's selfish.
No, you're just asking for what you need. I think that's okay.
Expressing needs isn't selfish. It's just what you need. I think it's more selfish if you go like, hey, I need to feel appreciated and loved. And the person you're with is like, no. It's free. Like, just be
That is
cool.
your partner.
Be nice.
That is your partner.
Well, why should I have to be nice? Because you chose to be in a relationship?
Because we're together. Like, I can't.
What's
with
the
that.
alternative? Be really cruel to somebody who wants to give you love? Like, that's the play?
Who else should I be asking for this from? Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
What's the play to not be appreciated?
If you're complaining because you can't show appreciation to your partner, you're the problem.
You're the problem.
You're the problem.
You.
It's so annoying.
And so user 98, if you're like, how do I bring this conversation up? I don't know where the disconnect would be to go like, I don't really feel seen or appreciated in this relationship. Well, if you can't say that, if we can't say I don't feel seen or appreciated, there's a huge disconnect in just communication. There's like, how many people want to feel safe and secure in their relationship and yet won't reciprocate something as simple as listening to understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said something about like, I'm told I'm weak. Wait a second. If
What?
you're being judged or guilted or shamed for needing appreciation, like, how unhealthy can this dynamic be? If you were like, hey, babe, I really just don't feel like seen for how much I'm contributing. And I'm like, you're just being selfish. You don't deserve that. Like, for me to start doing that to you would be like, how wild would what am I standing on?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember we did a video for what's the point of a relationship? It's very simple. Like, if you look at the very baseline of this, I'm going to close that out. The very baseline of a relationship is, it's better together than if we weren't together.
Yeah.
It's the very baseline. Is being with you is better than not being with you. If you're ever in a negative deficit, that being with nobody at all, being completely alone would be better than being with you, you're really dropping the ball for what it means to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't say be with somebody else. I said if just nothing is better, damn, did we drop the ball. If you imagine being just all alone is better than what I'm bringing to the table, I am really dropping the ball for you.
Yeah. And I can't wrap my, we've had this conversation so much lately. Even on my way home tonight, we were talking about this. But if you're a partner with someone and you're in a relationship with someone and that's who you treat the worst out of anybody in your life, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I don't understand it. And I know this is very top of mind because I recently heard a couple different stories from people that this is the scenario they're living in. And I'll be honest with you, it's men scenarios and women treating them poorly and expecting these men to just accept it. Like, you can't have both. Like, people can only be treated a certain way for so long before they're like, you're not my teammate anymore. Like, to your point, it's better to be alone than it is to be with you.
Yeah, there's a couple good things going on in here. Kimberly, I see you this every now and Jen. So she put a thing in here. How do you go about trying to have hard talks with someone who can criticize and critique you, but they can't take it when you say anything negative? Well, again, like, to say something, there's probably massive issues with the way you're both communicating here. Because if my job is to tell you something negative about you, what's the purpose? Slow down for a second and actually think about, what's the reason that I have to say negative things about you? Am I trying to criticize her into compliance? Do I need you to submit to my negativity so that I can be positive? Why do I have to say negative things to her? And why should she have to say negative things to me? What's the purpose? I mean, maybe you can help me out. What's the reason that I have to say negative things about you?
There shouldn't be.
Well, what's the benefit?
There's no benefit.
Maybe I'm missing something here.
No.
So Jen, let's see. Drew said to bring something up. Stephanie, I see you with the love languages.
So every now and then, she said I bring things up to him, and he responds with, "I know I'm the worst. You should just be with somebody else."
So he's doing a self-shaming
Yeah.
in order to make you feel. So you guys probably have a lot of issues with even your compatibility, why you chose each other. And so, like, if he's doing that, I know I'm the worst, you should be with someone else, and this guilt and shame stack makes you want to, like, save him or stay with him or whatever it is, that's probably where I would go into, like, how did you choose a guy who does such a heavy shame stack on himself? And what is it you were looking to get or have from choosing somebody who's at, like, a rock bottom here? Like, why would you choose somebody who's just kicking his own ass all day and doesn't have, like, the self-worth or self-confidence to go, like, I can own that one, instead saying, I'm the worst. Why don't you just go be with somebody better than me? Like, what am I missing here? There's probably also, what are you attracted to make this the kind of person that you choose? Because real talk, hypergamy means you choose equal or up. And if you're choosing a guy who doesn't have any confidence in himself and talks like this, I'm wondering how healthy your dynamic is for you, because you need to say negative things to him and you choose a guy at this level. He needs to do self-work and be good for himself. And it looks like you're trying to rescue a rescue. Like, you're trying to save a stray who's been beaten on the streets here, and you're going to nurse him back to health. Well, what are you trying to save him for? And what do you need to make it so you're trying to grab the broken ones to save them? Is that what it is? I can fix them? I can help this one. I can save this one. I can fix them. Because there's a whole curse system that ends up being here where you start needing guys who need a lot. So that way you can feel needed. Just catch it. You start choosing guys who need a lot so you feel safe enough that he won't leave you because you're so needed. You're creating a codependency here where he's going to shame you into staying. It's a very toxic deal. Now, here's where it gets even crazier, Jen. Let's say you're actually good at nursing him back. Let's say you help him to feel more confident and feel good and he's feeling great again. Well, now what's the reason that you're in the relationship? Because you're no longer needed to save him anymore. What's your role now in the relationship that he no longer needs you to nurse him back to health? One of two things happen. Either you have to, like, completely change your whole relationship into you being a completely different dynamic, or you'll start sabotaging it to knock him back down again so that way you're needed again.
She said, I'd say he guilt trips me into bending to what he wants all the time. No,
Nope.
That's not how it works.
Nope, you're not a victim, Jen. You make choices on who you're with.
Doesn't sound like your boundaries.
He's not guilt tripping you. Like, this is just the way that you
Yeah.
accept the conversations to be like, I guess I'll fall for this again. We choose who we're with. He's not doing anything to you. There's a boundary issue here. There's a communication issue here. There's a self-worth issue here, probably on both sides. And this sounds like a both sides unhealthy dynamic. I'm not going to be defending him, and I wouldn't be defending you. It sounds like you're both at an unhealthy level, dating somebody who's equally unhealthy and wondering why it's so unhealthy. Well, it's self-work time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where it's wrong. You got your stuff. Clearly, you have codependency issues, and he's got his stuff where his shame stack and his self worth is so low, he probably can't have the confidence to have accountability. You guys are both in a shit show. No wonder the struggles are happening, right?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I just want to back up for just a second. Todd, if anyone's looking to book a call, he said, would love to talk to you guys sometime. Book a call. The link is
yeah.
in the bio. So just book or click the link at the top. Also, Dylan made a comment, which we just talked about this today too. Marriage is only hard when one person isn't doing the work. You're absolutely right. When there's no willingness, it will not work.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah,
Well
absolutely. And then someone also added something about they want to get married, but they have Tinder and eHarmony on their to-do list. My question to you is, if you had a friend that said that about their significant other, what would be your advice for them? And that's probably what you should do.
Yeah, you're probably really good at giving advice. Would you take your own, though?
It's a different one as you, right? I
Bum,
know.
Bum,
I
bum.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work for me.
Yeah, I got all these dating sites, but let's get married.
What? No.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you guys need to do a little more vetting.
Yeah.
But anyways, I know I went a little bit hard there, but there's some truth that needs to be said on some of these ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the dynamic, you're not a victim at all, Jen. You're not a victim. You're an active participant choosing unhealthy behaviors. And you most likely, if I had to just give a snapshot, it seems like you're enabling him to keep treating you this way because you keep feeding him for guilt tripping you. You keep giving him like, okay, and you keep giving him his rewards and giving him whatever he wants by, just threatening that he's not good. You should just leave me in the gutter. I don't deserve you anyways, and just guilt tripping you for you to go like, no, I'm a good person. I don't want to leave you. I'm a good person. I don't want to leave you, which just shows your codependency and your lack of confidence in yourself. And it shows his unhealthy behavior where he should be doing accountability for him. Instead, he's putting shame on you because he doesn't have the ability to go, I got this, babe.
Yeah.
You know what? That's true. I did that shit. You know what? I got it, baby. Don't worry about it. He's not doing any of that. He's going, I'm not good. You should just go find someone who's worth it. Like, what are we doing? What are you doing? You both need to level up. Listen, You're not a victim. You're a participant.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's what it means. It's like a lot of times, like you said, I'm not a victim. I don't think I'm a victim, but you're right. I do enable. If you read the way that all of your questions were or your things before, every sentence was happening to you. He's guilt tripping me. That's happening to you. He tries to do guilt trips, and then I have to try and hold my boundaries against it. This is a conversation, but to say he's guilt tripping me, well, that's victim. Just look at the way that you write. And this isn't a judgment, it's an observation. Just look at the way that you write, and you'll see that it's not confident. It's more of a, oh no, it's happening to me. It's not happening for you, because then you'd be making different choices, but you're trying to make it work in a codependent dynamic. And when it's you, like you complete me, I need you to be okay, which is what this whole back and forth sounds like, is I need you to be okay. And I'm not okay unless I have you. It's going to end up just being very unhealthy, codependent. You can't grow together because you have to be locked in. Well, what happens when one of you starts doing better and the other one's not doing that well?
Yeah.
What happens? Well, our codependency starts to get strained. And then now we're like, you're leaving me. I feel unstable. I feel unhealthy. I feel you're just going to leave me for someone else. And you're just going to do this. And you're going to do that. And you're going to do this. Now the fears, the anxieties, the shame, the guilt, all of these things will get turned all the way up to try to make you feel bad to come back down to that level and get back in line. There's no room to grow with the way you guys have it set up. And if you do grow, there's no more relationship because your entire dynamic is based on not being healthy. You both got to level up. Both of you. You both do. You both got some shit. That's it. Now, is it impossible? No. But he's going to have to stop doing these guilt trips, and you're going to have to stop enabling him to do it.
Yeah.
You need healthy boundaries. He needs more confidence. It's not that complicated, guys, but we make it very complicated because the affairs of the heart, we complicate the shit out of every
Yeah.
choice that's very, very simple.
Yeah.
But we
Especially when you're in
complicate.
it. Yeah.
It's
It's
tough.
hard to see from the outside looking in when you're in it. I get
Mhm.
it. I'm in a relationship where she isn't used to a man who loves to serve and treat her like a queen, and now she's putting me in the same box as her past man.
Interesting. I'm in a relationship, and she isn't used to a man who loves and serves her, loves to serve and treats her like a queen, and now she's putting me in the same box as her past men. You want to know why? You treat her like a queen, she'll treat you like a servant. Oof. He's gonna be like, oh no.
Oh, shit.
You treat her like a rock star, she'll treat you like a fan. You treat her like a queen,
He said,
she'll
yeah,
treat
she
you
is.
she'll treat you like a servant.
Yeah.
No, this is my babe. This is my partner.
Yeah.
But she's not the queen who I bow and do everything she says. In fact, I highly disagree with her often.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make me love her any less, but I just don't do everything that she says. In fact, if I did, this place would be fucking on fire.
And I'll be honest with you, I also, for me, if he was like bowing down to everything, I honestly, for me, it's hard to follow that. Like, it's for him to be a leader and to stand up and like speak up against things that he doesn't believe that I'm right in, or maybe I am, whatever it is. Like, it is important for him to, the number one thing is for him to hold solid boundaries. Like, that is, even when I don't like it, I know that it's required. It shows me so much strength. If he was like bowing down to everything I did, my personality, I couldn't do that because I would almost see it as weakness. For me, it would be like, I feel like I can run all over you and I could run this place. And that does not feel safe to me at all. Him holding boundaries and being solid in who he is and for us is more important to me. It actually makes me feel much safer.
Yeah. I hold the line. Like, I hold
Yeah.
the line on that stuff. This isn't because I'm disrespectful
Not
or
at
unloving.
all.
It's because I do what is right, and her emotions sometimes go off the rails.
Yeah.
What's up, Jesse?
Hey, Jesse. Yeah, for sure. And it's the point of, I think safety is so important for women. It's very important for me. And so if he was like at my beck and call, like, that's annoying. First of all, I couldn't do that. Like, that's not the kind of guy that I would want to be with. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of see it as a little bit of weakness. I couldn't, but he's super loving. He's very kind. Like, he just doesn't show
I'm
it
very
like that.
fair.
Yeah.
I'm very compassionate. I'm very
Yes.
nurturing. I'm alpha gorilla. Like, it's mostly kindness and nurture. It's very rare I have to beat my chest. It's extremely rare.
Yeah.
Most of the time it has nothing to do with that. User 98449, book a call for me, man. Like, I can see you're really struggling with how to have that conversation. Give me some one-on-one with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see you got good questions. This appreciation thing is really tricky, but I can see it's like an eggshell conversation for you. Let's talk, and let me give you some new tools, man, because I see you're just trying to go in the fight unarmed, and you just don't have the right armor and the right weapons to be able to navigate this without taking hits to the face. Like, book a call, let's hang out, and I'll give you a couple new pieces for you to be able to navigate that conversation without being beat down or triggered. Like, I got to make sure you got some better training under your belt. It's nothing that you did wrong. It's just you can't do things you don't know.
Yeah. Anyone. Yeah. Book a call.
Yeah, it's just go to the bio and just book a call. You'll probably catch Randy, who will take the calls at first, and then she directs them to me like, hey, these are the people you need to talk to. But like, we have a women's side, we have a men's side, and being plugged in with either gives you just different perspectives or better balance. I did my women's training today. I do guys training almost every day. We have to look out for our people. And so you guys can book a call. It's a free call. Just book a call and just hang out, check it out. We have free community stuff too. You get to be involved and check out things. If you want more services, you can get them.
Yeah.
Or you can just be in the community for free and hang out. Like, there's no problem. Like,
Yeah.
we're out to serve people. This is for need, not greed.
Yeah.
If you want a part of it, jump in. If you don't, well, just enjoy the free shit. Like, it's fine. Like, come and hang out though. But I'd be happy to talk with you because you guys I see some of you just trying to go in these battles and just don't have any training on how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that you guys are bad people or you don't know, you're a piece of crap or whatever judgment people will throw at you. You can't make choices that you don't know exist.
Mm-hmm.
You just haven't been trained. That's it. It's not your fault. Parents do the best they can, but they're not trained either. And so let's team up. I'll give you
Yeah.
new perspectives and new tools and new training, so that way in that conversation you can stay strong, stoic, cool, understanding, compassionate, empathetic, loving, and not have to get controlling, dominant, lose your cool, get frustrated, get triggered. We don't have to do any of that stuff. I can just disagree.
Yeah.
And I need to share what my needs are. But if you're not clear on your needs, which most of you, if I really go, well, what do you need, don't know. Real talk. If I say, well, what did you need? You're like, well, I just need them to shut up. I'm like, no, you need to feel heard. Are you guys listening to each other? Those kind of things that are there. People don't know what to ask for, though. They don't know. Yeah, you can hear that dog, Phil?
Yeah, for real.
Tell the dog we're live.
Ian, good question. How do you rebuild a community after betrayal when it feels like your world was torn apart?
We'd probably need more info on that one, Ian, because sometimes it depends. Like, is it something where it can't be rekindled, or there's no willingness to rekindle, or is there forgiveness as an option and we can learn from a lesson and grow with each other? It would just depend on what it is. Thanks for the follow, Jordan. Appreciate you. But like, Ian, I'd have to know more information, because you said rebuild a community, and then there's betrayal, and then the world's torn apart. I'm like, hard to give really direction with those pieces, because it's very broad. We'd have to make up too much.
Yeah.
What's up, Rob? I see you, bud. But I'd like to be able to talk with some of you guys. I just see some of you are really trying to navigate this, but it's not that you're bad. You just didn't know.
Right.
Let's give you a couple more
New
like tools in
information,
there,
yeah.
so that way you guys can do a little bit more to go like, okay, I got a game plan.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you guys are trying to use tactics without strategy. Well, that's just noise before defeat.
Yeah.
That's Sun Tzu, by the way.
And whoever, if you're a guy, you can shoot us a message here and a message request, and I'll send out, myself or Randy will send you the link, either for men or women, the one that you need. And then you can join the community and see what it's about.
Grab Stephanie's.
How do I stay in my feminine when I try to talk and he makes me feel like I have to man up?
What is that?
What is that?
He makes me feel like I have to man up.
What? I don't.
There's a complication in your guys' dynamic. There's a huge missing piece here. And I don't know if he's being encouraged or empowered to lead, or if you won't follow and you're abstaining from being able to connect. And so you think you have to do it because he's not doing what you think he should do. But if you're going into, I have to man up, I can only imagine how emasculating it would be to have an argument with you. Like, based on, like, I have to man up? Fine. Like, ooh.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
guess.
just even, maybe I'm just misreading the terminology here. But if I told you, like, how do I talk to you when I feel like I have to woman up for you?
Yeah, what? Well, I wonder first, Stephanie, is this what he's saying to you, or is this your
Control system.
perception, or like what is that? I think is the first question.
Well, what does it mean to man up, babe?
Yeah, like I feel like it's a
This is where
almost
we're
like
making shit up stuff. Just so you know, this is where we start making up things like, what does it mean to
like
man up?
it's too tricky. I can't even guess. Like I really can't even guess without you giving us more, Stephanie. Yeah, I don't. It's so many things. I mean,
Yeah.
if you get like, is he the leader in the house? Does he work? Do you work? Like, what is the situation? There's so many questions. Ian, I'm sorry to hear that.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Jordan, you guys, because Alyssa, she said, sounds like stop being so sensitive. What a rough thing to say if you think about it. Just hold on a second. Like, do you want a guy who gives a shit about your heart? Let's check first. Because he was like, no, I really care about this. You know, like, you need to man up.
So she answered. She said, when he sees me show emotions, when we communicate, he shuts down because he thinks he will hurt me.
This means that you two do not feel safe to talk to each other. If he's shutting down And he's using it and he's saying, because I don't want to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
It shows a combination of you're not good at receiving information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you're not safe for him to share to. And that means he has to close off. He has to shut down because he thinks if he opens up and shares with you, you won't handle it well.
I also want to know, what is the emotion that you're showing? Are you showing anger? Are you
Or well,
crying?
I
Like,
think
what
that would
is?
hurt. Yeah, what does hurt mean? Because if she starts falling apart, he's gonna be like, "Damn, I can't tell you the truth on anything because you fall apart." And then you feel like you have to man up because you get sensitive. And then you say, when he's being sensitive, I have to go on the attack. It's like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. He can't, if he's shutting down ever, just ladies, if your guy is shutting down, you trained him, you can't be talked to. And this goes the other way around. If your girl is shutting down on you, you trained them. They can't share with you without you not handling it well.
Yeah.
Don't give yourself gold stars. Don't give yourself I'm the good communicator because I say a lot of things. No. You have taught your person that when you share something, they will have a reaction that makes you not want to share anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If I start telling you truths
Yeah.
and you keep
I react
falling
every time.
apart
Yeah.
every time, it shows that if I share the truth with you,
Yeah.
anything that I believe or I've been experienced or I feel, if I share with you and you lose your mind, you
Yeah.
either fall apart or you start yelling and arguing or get it controlling or try to create punishment or remove privilege
Mm-hmm.
simply because I opened up to you, it shows me I can't open up to you.
Yeah. Agreed. Steffi said, I feel like I can't share my feelings without him having a reaction. So I have a question. When you're sharing your feelings, are you sharing your feelings about things that he's not doing the way that you want him to be doing these things?
And are we calling share your feelings really complaining?
Yeah.
Like,
I
I'm
feel
just
like
going to tell
there's-
you all the stuff I don't like that you're doing, and I call it sharing feelings.
Yeah. I feel like there could be some anger stuff happening here. Maybe, Stephanie, tell me if I'm wrong. But you guys aren't sharing kindly. I feel like there's a lot, this is what I'm gathering. I feel like there's a lot of yelling happening.
I can
Just
feel the energy.
the whole man up, the whole like, when I share my feelings, he's doing this. But it sounds like clearly it's a little off balance. But tell us if we're.
I need to man up then? You're being a sissy. I need to man up.
Or what are you saying, Stephanie? Like, I'm feeling really sad. This is what happened. I feel really hurt. Because if you're communicating in that way, I doubt your guy, would be like, get it together. You can't deal. Like, he's not going to be like,
your
man up.
feelings are hurt. I'm going to slap you. Like,
Yeah, no.
guys don't do that. They're like, oh, babe, what's going on? I'd really be surprised if like Andrea just showed that you're going, sweetheart, can I openly share with you
Mm-hmm.
that like I feel sad and I feel sad about some things and I'm trying to sort it out, and it's not me complaining, it's just sharing that I feel sad or I feel hurt about something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to fix it. I just want you to be able to go like, just know that it's there, and then maybe we can make some better agreements together. No demands, just I feel sad or I'm working through a feeling or I want to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be hard pressed in this conversation if you feel like you have to man up, that it's like that compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
Not seeking to connect, but seeking to control.
Yeah. John, we have that book, read the book, Nonviolent Communication. Yeah, we have it. It's right here. On
Yeah,
the
I got it
desk.
right here.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a stack of books right here. I'm going
We
through.
also, the words that work in business is also another good one. Too.
Yeah, it's well, the first half of it. The second half of
Yeah.
it is all going through like it goes through a bunch of examples. But no, Rosenberg is fantastic for nonviolent communication. So John, good call.
Mm-hmm.
Good call. I'm a big fan of Marshall Rosenberg.
Yeah.
So very cool stuff.
That is how I try to do it. I come in soft, and once he feels criticized, he shuts down.
And this is
But-
gonna sound crazy, Steph. This is where I did a training for the ladies today called the Accountability Challenge. Our Stephanie too. She had to go through with this one too. Take the accountability that you trained him to shut down when you communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Something that the way that you communicate makes him feel like I gotta just shut down because you're not gonna listen to me. And this goes the other way. If any of you guys, your girl just shuts down and stops sharing with you,
Mm-hmm.
you're not as safe to talk to as you think.
Right. And if he's feeling criticized and he shuts down, we have to be able to adjust the way that we're also communicating too. Because if he's your partner, I wouldn't come at him and say, you know what, I'm struggling because you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this. That doesn't feel good on either side. If he was doing that to you, it also would not feel good. So we also have to redirect the way that we're communicating to also get the response that we want too. But to his point, it sounds like, he's definitely been trained and he's just going to shut down.
You guys are getting triggered. You guys pay attention to your triggers, okay? Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. These are the basic control systems that we go into. I'm either going to attack you to force you into compliance and doing what I think you should do by shame, guilt, criticism, name calling. I'm going to knock you down so that you do what I tell you to. Or we go into flight, which is like hide, suppress, push it down. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to get out of this conversation. I'm going to walk out of the conversation. I can't deal with this right now. Or we're going to go into the freeze system, which is him shutting down or you shutting down. When someone shuts down, that's surrender. I'm done. I got nothing else. Now, just so you know, and any of you guys who criticize your person who shuts down, they're not dumb. They're just absorbing everything at once because they're turned into a survival system that makes them see everything but not able to process everything at once. It's not stupid. They've done the studies for this when they connect people's like neurons, like the neurons to your head. And it shows that when somebody goes into a freeze state, the brain patterns are going off the charts. It's not dumb. It's very important that you guys don't start, again, the attack people who have a freeze person. They want to get into some sort of shame stack like, oh, you just froze because you're dumb. They're not dumb. They're just absorbing all of the information in a high-stress environment, which you're creating. You create a high-stress environment. Now, if you start going, well, they shouldn't do that. Well, let's go ahead and be accountable. I create high-stress environments. I communicate in a way that he feels criticized. I communicate in a way that my partner does not feel safe to share with me and shuts down. Mm-hmm. If you own your part, it's no longer happening to you. Now you go, damn, I can see that. Now I can make adjustments on my side to be better at listening without speaking in criticisms and nagging and complaining. It doesn't work.
No.
And you don't like being on the receiving end of
just
criticisms.
Say, yeah.
Like, you don't like it. It's just, this is basic golden rule. I think kindergartners could teach you guys, like, don't talk to each other like that. That's not nice. Yet somehow we're justified because we've been together for years.
No. Mm-mm.
Let's see.
No.
She says, when I talk to him, I tell him, I let him tell me his thoughts, and then I take time to process. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then I let him do the same. I know he has to process what to say, right? That's fair.
Yeah.
Listen to each other.
Yeah.
Go in.
Absolutely.
Brandon, I'm going to throw relationship stuff at you tomorrow, and then we're going to go. So Mr. Gratitude's going to be on the podcast tomorrow.
Awesome.
So very excited for that.
Yeah.
So listen, we're not going hard on you, Steph. Remember, this is very important. And Brandon, you can jump in with me on this one. Like, when you're in a relationship that's struggling, it's not happening to you. You're an active participant. Like, you are a part of this. You're a part of the relationship that has gone off the rails somehow. And that's it. Like, own your part. That's it. Mm-hmm. If you work on your side and they work on their side, they have willingness. You both have willingness, then there's hope. But if you're doing this, it's you. It's actually you that's the problem. If you turn all of your attacks inward, you're going to be like, damn, that's not very nice. I can see why my person shuts down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can see why my person shuts down. Damn. That's us.
Yeah.
We are the ones. And here's why I can give you this kind of shit. You know why? I was a big part of why people would shut down in our house.
Yeah.
I was not safe to listen to. I spoke Spartan. I'm from Detroit. None of my girls in here speak Spartan,
I've
by
never
the way.
seen anything like this in my life.
She's a merchant. I've got volleyball player, a soccer player. I've got a dancer. We got.
Yeah.
These are not Spartans in here.
No,
So when
even
I
the
come in,
voice, like
Spartan energy.
did not do it didn't go well for me. I was
Everyone
like,
shuts down.
like what is that? Yeah.
Everybody in here would shut down. I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be at like level 1 or 2 anger, and for them that's
But to
level
us,
1,000.
It was
I was off the charts.
when you're not used to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big part. And so when I'm saying, Steph, you're not safe to talk to, neither was I. Because I would be like, what are you saying that for? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Spit it out. What are you talking about? You don't know how to talk? Like, just spit it out. Oh, so now you had a lot to say, but now you have nothing to say. Okay, I'll just wait here until you figure out what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Like, you can see how aggressive that is. Like, it was really aggressive.
Oh, I hated it.
Now,
Yeah.
while if you listen to the words themselves aren't that rough, but that cadence and that tone and the way that I would speak, like that warrior energy, like they don't speak that dialect. They don't understand it. And so I had to pull it back. I had to change my whole tone. And so if something's going on, I'm like, all right, well, tell me what's going on with you. I'm here to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened about that? Are you feeling okay now after that happened? I had to change my dialect because I'm like, what's your problem? Well, that doesn't work. You guys can see how quickly it's like, well, what happened?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
But it changes if you're like, so what are you going to do? You're just going to fall over yourself about it, or are you going to do something? You're like, oh my God, like so aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But really, what is it? I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
That energy.
Yeah.
It matters. I was not safe to talk to.
Yeah. And also too, you know, in that state, I mean, this was a long time ago, but I couldn't be open. I couldn't share. I couldn't feel like I could share. I also didn't feel like my needs or my wants were even cared about. Like there was so much energy that was coming from him that I was like, I felt very unsafe. And it also taught me too, though, I mean, there's a balance to everything, but to also, I was very sensitive. I still am very sensitive, but also to really tune in to what people are saying and not to take things personal, but really listen to what are the words that they're saying. I don't have to react because someone else is reacting. I can listen to the words that they're saying and then respond appropriately. I do have control over that. But yeah, as soon as the shift in his energy changed, our house also changed, which allowed me to be more open, allowed me to also for the girls not to see this tense dynamic, you know, with him being like loud and me being like terrified sometimes. Like it really made our house a safe place to be. And we just got so much stronger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dang, GD1. Like, I'm married, but I can't express myself without expecting an argument. I wanted to.
Can I
want
ask
to divorce,
GD1?
It cost me $300K.
Jesus.
But I want to run.
GD, can I ask you a question? How long have you been married? Because there's I mean, there's no shocking information here, but there's a lot of there's
13 years.
I was curious. There's a lot of marriages falling apart around this time. 13 years, even 20 years. Like people have been married a long time and their marriages are falling apart. And we were talking about this today, and it's so sad. And it's sad for many reasons, not only like you, GD, too. Like a lot of men are feeling stuck, and men typically are the ones that have to pay. That's usually how it goes. And so they're stuck in a dynamic that the other person is not willing to do the work. And I would probably say that's your situation. You know, if you can't talk to your spouse, your teammate, your person, and be open and continue to want to grow. What are you working on? It's so sad. It really is so sad. And listen, this is coming from a place where I'm divorced, right? So, but I can tell you, I did not give up easily at all. Like, I was willing, and then you do get to a point, like I was telling him earlier, when there's abuse or if someone's like a serial cheater, there's also a point where you also have to draw your own lines too. But if you're just falling out of love and no one wants to try to work, like that's heartbreaking to me. It really is. And it's really sad to see that families are falling apart because people are unwilling to try to make it work. Like, at what cost for us to end up like, especially being married 13 years and you have kids, let's say your kids are teenagers, like this is a time your kids go off to school and become adults, and now you're with your spouse so you don't even know, and like this is a time to really like be connected with each other. And it's sad to see like people are giving up so freaking easily.
Yeah.
And if not easily, there's no willingness to try.
That's the big part, is like the no willingness to even try. Like you were saying, like I can't even talk without expecting an argument. Like the defensiveness is like right on the edge, and so it's just those things where you're like, dang, it's like it's there's no willingness to try to make it work, and so there's one of those things too. Let's see, what do you do? Let's see, what do you recommend after a spouse has cheated? I had a whole thing. We've got videos on this, but like the reality is like if somebody does that and you want to make it work, there's a whole system to this. Like they have to own their element. They have to learn their lesson. People do stuff. We make choices that suck sometimes. Let's just call it what it is. And very rarely do cheaters do it because they're trying to hurt the person that they're with. It's usually maybe unmet need within themselves, or something that like an opportunity they just didn't turn down. I don't know. We screw up. People screw up. Okay. If you're like, I'm willing to make it work, you'd have to almost kind of like reset your vows, start over again, and have like an agreement that if anything does this again, like this is it. Like you got your strike. We never do this ever again. And then you have to choose to trust your person again. If you want to make it work, if you're like, we can make it work, we can. People screw up. We can give the grace and forgiveness that you want for screwing up. Do the same thing for somebody else. And if you're going to make it work, there's no halfway. You're either all in and you're going to make it work, but we have a new agreement. You do this again. There is no, we don't do it again. I don't keep rewarding. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Well, that's the thing. Well, even this like chicken pot pie says, never trust a cheater. All of us have made mistakes. It doesn't mean everyone keeps making the same mistake. People learn. Mm-hmm. People have learned. Like we've seen people like who they screwed up and they go, damn, I'm never doing that again. And then they really don't. Mm-hmm. So to have like absolutes, it doesn't work like that. Mm-hmm. Everybody in here has lied or cheated or made a mistake or screwed up or did some sly shit or did some betrayal or underhanded stuff. And just because you've done something in the past doesn't mean that's who you are forever. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to make mistakes to learn from them. That's what mistakes are for. And if you believe that it's worth salvaging, you're either all in or you're all out. But there's going to be a new vow thing that we make that if you mess with this again, there is no more chances. That's it. If we had a dynamic and like she screwed up, I'd be like, if we're doing this, I'm all in. But if you ever do this again, we're done. We're done. There is no more chances. There is no more. So then I would have to trust that she's learned a lesson and she wants to be a different person for herself. And if this is her true colors and that's what she is, well then thanks for showing me. I have to go.
Yeah. In my marriage, his full-time job was cheating. So when he cheated the first time, knowing who I am and you guys, sharing my values and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I'll forgive you. I didn't work through much of it. We went to counseling. I was like, okay, we're going to stick by it. I'm going to be with you. Like, let's do this. And then you fast forward 4 years later and there's so much more happening. At that point, I had to make the decision. What do I want in my life for my girls? What am I showing them? How do I deserve to be treated? Not like this. And got a divorce. So there's choices that you have to make. Everyone's situation is going to be different. And everyone's going to have an opinion about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. You should always work it out. You shouldn't work it out. Like, it's going to be up to you to make that decision, whatever works best for you and your marriage. So, or your relationship even.
All right, battery's running low on this one. But on this one, I don't believe in absolutes. Now, do I think statistically speaking, people who are enabled without holding the boundary that this is a non-negotiable to ever screw with this again, and then not sticking to it, I would recommend that every couple, and when I've talked to like business people, and Brandon, if you're still on, I want to talk about this tomorrow, is the value of autonomy. Like, if you're with somebody who's abusive or breaks your non-negotiables or is cheating on you or whatever, be able to leave. Be able to leave. How do you learn to trust again? Trust is a decision. You choose that you trust.
Yep.
And if you're too scared to do it, don't be in a relationship. You choose to do this. It's something that I choose to do. But if I said somebody in my past betrayed me, so I can't let you in, what does she have to do with that?
Yeah.
Why should she have to pay a penance for somebody else who she didn't even know? For a decision someone else made that I wasn't a part of because I'm too afraid, because I'm afraid to let somebody in? So what? It's your feelings. Hurt my feelings then. Fine. I choose to trust you, even though you have the ability to hurt my feelings, but you also have the ability to fulfill my heart and have a beautiful, loving relationship.
Yeah.
But if I don't bring trust, and if you do not bring trust to your relationship, you will never have a good one.
Yeah.
Do you know why I say never and speak in absolutes with that? Because what do you have if you don't have trust? I'm listening. Do you respect, honor? Do you communicate? How do you communicate with somebody that you do not trust a word they're saying is true? What do you have if you don't trust your person? And is it something that is earned? No. We've gone over this over and over again. There's no measurement for how many of what do I have to earn to say trust. It is given only. I either trust you or I don't trust you. Are there levels of how much exposure for trust I can give? Yes. But if I'm with a person, I open up. This is my person. I'm going to trust her openly. Does that mean she has the ability to break my heart? Yes. Yeah, that's why it's called falling in love and not forcing in love. I surrender my heart. I fall in faith that I love you, even though it could hurt me. And yeah, our love category has the highest amount of pain we've ever felt was from love. Whether it's our parents or a relationship, someone we loved hurt us more than anyone. Yep, that happened. But I don't go, because somebody else hurt my heart, you have to now run the gauntlet. How about I heal my heart so that way I can give her a full one and not hand her shattered pieces and go, good luck. Good luck with this. You better treat this right. And you're like, this is a bunch of broken pieces here. Yeah, the last person was not careful. Well, maybe I should do some healing and give her an actual heart instead of just a bunch of shards that used to be something that I used to love with.
Yeah.
So if I show up with her and go, I don't trust, what am I doing?
Who are you
what
really...
am I offering?
But also, how does that person ever really get to know you? They're only knowing pieces of you. They're not knowing the full you. So
you can't be loved.
Dynamic, yeah.
Yeah. You can't be loved. So this is where if someone says like, well, how do I trust them? You choose to.
Yeah.
I say, okay, I'm willing to have my heart broken because you're worth that. And if she breaks my heart, I believe she was worth it. And then I'll have to heal again. I'll grieve the relationship, heal myself back up, and then I'll try again. And the next person may do the same thing. Okay. Not going to kill me. Not my first heartbreak. Does it suck? Yeah. Do I want to do it? No. Will I do it? Yep. I think you're worth it. You're worth a broken heart. I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to
break my heart.
I'm not going
Better
to.
not. I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to.
I know.
It's not me. I'm not the one for that.
Silly. So this is just one of those things when people say, like, I don't know if I can ever trust again, then don't get in a relationship. You're not bringing anything.
Yeah.
Ooh, Rick's shooting.
So true.
If
So
you
true.
get in a relationship waiting for somebody else to save you from your own distrust,
It'll never happen.
don't get in a relationship.
No, and if you're not trusting them, all you're going to be doing is looking for ways to prove that you can't trust them. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy that you'll do it, and it'll drive you insane.
Yeah.
You'll drive yourself insane. You'll spend so much time worrying when the next person's going to cheat on you or looking for the ways and what is everybody doing, and you won't be living your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just got to choose. There's a lot of choices in here. There's acceptance, there's beliefs, there's choice. There's all these factors that we have in here. And a lot of times we're making emotional decisions without actually getting all the information, or we make radical assumptions and call them facts. We have belief systems that, if challenged, we get triggered because they're not authentic. We want to control everybody instead of forgiving people for learning lessons the hard way. Like, we're our own enemies. Relationships are struggling because the truth is most of us can't get out of our own way.
Yeah.
Can't get out of our own way. Or we don't know how to hold a boundary. Or we don't know how to go, like, that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
If she's like, I would really like to be with a whole lot of other guys, I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead.
I hate those examples.
I won't be with you.
That'll never happen.
But I'm just, well, I mean, baby.
I don't even like the example.
Oh.
I think you need to find a different.
Make a new one, baby. Go ahead. You make a new one.
I don't have one.
Hypothetical. Make a new hypothetical for me. These are just a non-negotiable for us. I'm not going to go out and get new girlfriends. She's not going out to get new boyfriends. This is just an agreement we have. We don't do that. Our loyalty for our relationship doesn't include sleeping or being with other people. That's just our relationship, our choice. But if we decide, like, I'm just going to break that agreement and just go and date other people, well, that's a non-negotiable because we've talked about it. And so she should be able to hold her ground to say, that's not a match for me. But I want my cake and to eat it too.
Get the hell out. It would be that fast. It would literally be that fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more than vocal.
Yeah. And I would kick her out so fast. She would be smoke. I would kick you out so fast.
Get out of here.
What? You just do that?
Yeah, because you're the one that cheated, so that's what it would be.
Yeah, and I'd kick you out. So
I would be like, you want to talk about...
I'd be packed
like,
up.
you want to know what boundaries are? Here, let me show you. This is a hard line.
I'd be so packed up. I'd be packed so quick, though.
Yeah, because I'd be packing for you.
Yeah.
We would double team it.
Yeah, it'd be super packed. Fake Rick again.
Oh my gosh, so silly.
Canadian bacon. Fake Rick dies again.
This is where we also have to find humor in shit like this because it's nonsense. But
it'd be a big deal. You're so silly. You'd be like, gone. Listen, you crybaby thug, baby.
I would be devastated. If this guy broke my heart, I would, first of all, delete this TikTok, and then I'd be so sad.
Yeah, no vengeance.
Wait, what? Who? What? No, I'm kidding.
I'll make sure you suffer. Anyway, we're changing the password tomorrow. What the hell?
You can't, because it's mine.
What the what just happened? Savage.
Oh my gosh, no.
Woman's going.
I can't even go into that. Like, I can't let my mind go there. I love this guy. Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to say, you're such a healthy couple. Break up at a team exercise. Yeah. I'll help you get your shit. I got some tape.
Yeah, make sure you put paper between the plates. You don't want to break them.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. Don't call me babe. All right? Make sure you have these covered.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's part of a defense mechanism to make it so things don't get too serious. It depends on how it goes. And like you just saw, we just made a joke out of something that could potentially be a relationship ending situation, but we make jokes about it. It's maybe just have a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's just trying to lighten the mood so that way you guys can find connection. And maybe laughing isn't so bad. Even like Phil going, step 1, nuke everything. Like, that's funny. That's funny. It's we're dying here, baby.
Yeah.
Looks like looks like the connection's going to be struggling here.
Yeah.
Because my tablet's dying. We've gone through like 80% battery.
Yeah.
Time flies, baby. It's been an hour and 40 minutes.
Time goes by fast.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but maybe it's not so bad to be able to laugh once in a while.
We laugh a lot.
Just be silly. Maybe lighten up. Maybe lighten up. Maybe you're being a little ridiculous with the seriousness. You're trying to control everything. When he's like, just can we stop being so serious all the time? Like it's okay. Oh, actually, I'm not. We're not using microphones.
Oh,
Haha. Didn't even think about that. Maybe we can buy a couple more minutes here.
yeah.
It's not hard to be serious all the time when you have to be a serious person in the house. Cynthia, that's an unhealthy sentence. Listen,
Is it?
life's a little too short to be like the serious person in the house. Like,
And are you being serious just because people are doing things the way that you don't believe they should be done?
yeah.
Like, is anyone getting hurt?
You're trying to just control everybody, and so you have to be in control. Because that's a very controlling sentence. It's hard not to be serious all the time when you have to be the serious one in the house. It's like, it sounds like I need to be in control of everybody. Like, you would hate I'd really hard press if you'd really enjoy being with you if somebody's always trying to be the
No,
serious
It's
one all
just
the
it's
time.
hard when you're actually trying to share your emotions and the person doesn't
Doesn't listen.
listen.
If I watched your interaction, I guarantee this. By the way, this is going, I would say you're both probably doing something pretty way off for each other. Like it doesn't sound one-sided. It sounds like you're both doing something unhealthy and not liking the other person doing it. Like this isn't one side. Like he's doing something to you. It's like you're doing something that he doesn't like, and he's doing something you don't like, and you guys aren't able to communicate in a way that feels safe enough to understand. That's where it goes off the rails. It's just not really listening to each other.
Yeah.
Dan, he said Canadian bacon is just ham.
It's fun.
I know. So funny.
That's
She said,
funny.
no, I can't.
Yeah. If you two just stop and listen to each other, you'd probably be surprised. Do the exercise we talked about where, like, write down what he's saying without adding to it. I bet you'd be surprised what he's actually saying, even if it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the issue with laughing once in a while? Sometimes it's okay to laugh. It's not so serious all the time.
Yeah.
If you think you have to be the serious one, it's just called the not fun one. Again, we justify behaviors that if you're with somebody who's the stick in the mud and call themselves the responsible one, it's the boring one.
Yeah,
It's the
have
not
fun.
fun one.
Have fun. And no one's getting hurt. Just, women typically have like certain particulars that they have to have things a certain way. Like, let's just all lighten up a little bit. Yeah.
Well, then laugh with them. If you got a guy who's funny, that was probably a redeeming trait at one point.
And if you're, you probably
probably liked him for being
loved
funny.
him because he was funny. Am I
Yeah.
right? Are we right? Yeah. And so I hope that you still laugh at his jokes. I'm sure you do. 'Cause she's like, I laugh.
Yeah,
don't know.
I think sometimes having a good soft heart and being funny about stuff doesn't require a good heavy hand.
Oh, it's been hard after he cheated.
Well,
Well,
you're either going to be all in or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't deal and you can't close it off and you can't trust again and you can't choose to forgive and you guys don't have agreements, then get out.
Mm-hmm. And if he's laughing about that specific situation, I'm just making this up, that is a little different.
Well,
Like-
it would depend. Again, we'd have to. There's too many assumptions
I
we
know.
would make on this one.
Yeah.
I don't want to make assumptions, but I bet listening to you two, if you guys were to go, we're really going to make it work. If you're really going to make it work, then make it work. And if you're not willing to really make it work, then you're just both creating punishment systems for each other
Yeah.
for nothing, for just because you're not willing to make it work anyways. But if you're really willing to make it work, you have to make an agreement, renew the vows between each other. It doesn't have to be, in a new wedding, but just we redo our vows to each other. And if anything like this ever happens again, it's not a conversation. It's just this is what happens. It's not meant to be a punishment. It's just meant to be like, this is the agreement that if this ever happens, we're done. Okay, now you have an agreement. If it ever happens again, we don't have a debate. There's no argument. There's nothing to be mad about. It's like, well, I'll help you pack your shit, I guess. Team exercise now. Like, we talked about it. All we got to do now is the thing that we agreed on. That's it. There's not really what's there to argue about.
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing to argue for. Like, you want to be with other people, then go do that. Like, I'll help you get your shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to be with you, he learned his lesson, he's never going to do that again. You're either all in or you're not. There's no middle ground. There's no like kind of sort of I'm now the authority and I get to punish him because he made a mistake. You're the toxic one now. He made a mistake and now you became an unhealthy authority. That's a dead relationship too. That's it. Sucks. That's it. But that's what's going to happen. So it seems both sides. It seems like nobody here is truly being the healthy one. No wonder you guys are struggling. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. JNVS Mom 35. She said, we are in counseling, but you two are more straightforward talking and very helpful. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here, Warriors.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
guys.
baby. It's getting late, and I want
Let's
some
do it.
time with you. It's date night, so I want some time with you.
Let's do it.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys very much. YouTubers, thanks for being with us. We see you guys, and thank you. TikTokers, do all the stuff, guys. If you guys want to book a call because I need more tools, or I need more community, or I need more information, or I need more collaboration, whatever you need, book a call. Let's get together. Let's talk, and let's get you whatever we can do to help you guys out. Otherwise, I hope you guys dominate this week. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And go love on your people.
Yeah.
Love on your people.
Love on your people.
Life's too short.
Yeah.
Love on them. All right.
YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Where do we post these lives? I think they are on our YouTube channel, but we put them in our Patreon account. So our Patreon is where we put all our lives. And so you can jump in on those. You can jump in and check out all our old stuff. We got it in our podcast too. We put some of these up on the podcast too. So you can catch some of our stuff. There's a lot of really cool stuff we put up there.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
have a good night.
Go kick some ass, Warriors. We'll see you guys later.
Good night.
All right. Shutting it down.